You might not like the tone that Mr. Baird is using, but it is entirely appropriate. And
Sorry, Chair.
I suspect a good part of the country agrees. Now, don't bring me into this debate with these frivolous points of order on tone, particularly when you take issue with the word Mr. Barrett used, and then use it yourself to describe his actions, thereby reinforcing the point it is accurate. Mr. Barrett, you have the floor.
Chair.
Is it a point of order, Ms. Khalid?
Yes, Chair. Again, on the same point of order on decorum,
He ruled
I would
on it.
appreciate
He ruled on
if
it.
the chair, I'm talking about a different person now, if the chair himself could be a little bit more nonpartisan in how he conducts
Okay,
our
Ms.
committee.
Khalid, don't bring me into your bun fights, and I will be nonpartisan and conduct the meeting.
Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Point of order, point of shame. Oh my God. IQRA Khalid, Brenda Shanahan are put in their place by Chair Williamson.
So, Mr. Moore, it's going to be incredible, if not impossible, for Canadians to believe that CBSA has no idea who authorized GC Strategies to ink the requirements for a $25 million contract and then get awarded that same contract, and nobody knows. Nobody knows, and you offered some names. Then, when pressed by Mr. Brock on if those names were those responsible, you said, "Well, no, that's not what I'm saying." But you're not able or willing to tell us who. And then Mr. Hayes tells you that one of those individuals wasn't even there. So it's hard to believe. So, in any other business, in any other environment, there would be serious repercussions. You said, sir, on ArriveCAN that you are, quote, you said, "I'm accountable for failures," end quote. These are massive failures, the likes of which have not been seen in decades in this country. Have you offered to resign?
No, I've not offered to resign because I'm actually very proud of what we've achieved over the last 6 years.
That's shameful. There's nothing to be proud of in this. And I would, if I had time, I'd dig into the supposed cost savings. But the paper-based applications, those were human costs.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes, Ms. Shanahan, point of order, please.
Again, the shameful treatment of our witnesses who are
She's using the same word I used.
Actually, it is the decorum in committee. It is Standing Order 117.
So she's calling it shameful,
and Chair,
but I said shameful?
I call upon you to ensure the respectful treatment of
she's using the same word,
the
John.
witnesses that appear before us today. So,
Ms. Shanahan, your point of order is that you're entitled to call a member shameful as actions, but the member cannot refer to the statements from a witness as shameful?
I am saying that the words that the member
You used the same word, Brenda.
With the witness, it's in questioning a witness, is not appropriate. It is inappropriate to this committee.
Your cover-up is inappropriate.
Ms. Shanahan,
A civil servant to call upon a civil servant to resign and then to say that that is shameful. That is not worthy of this committee. We are here to ensure the accountability of civil servants, and we take that work very,
Ms. Shanahan, okay.
very
Ms. Shanahan, first, you know, it is my practice both to give members latitude to ask their questions and I think more unique for this committee to allow witnesses to respond fully, and I seldom cut them off because I think it is a benefit for this committee to hear answers. But Ms. Shanahan, one of the issues before this committee is the lack of answers that have come from the Government of Canada about who is responsible. I am tired of hearing that we will fix it next time, when this is about the auditor's report finding out what happened. You might not like the tone that Mr. Baird is using, but it is entirely appropriate. And I suspect a good part of the country agrees. Now, don't bring me into this debate with these frivolous points of order on tone, particularly when you take issue with the word Mr. Barrett used, and then use it yourself to describe his actions, thereby reinforcing the point it is accurate. Mr. Barrett, you have the floor.
Chair?
Is it a point of order, Ms. Khalid?
Yes, Chair. Again, on the same point of order on decorum, I would appreciate if the chair, I'm talking about a different person now. If the chair himself could be a little bit more nonpartisan in how he conducts.
Okay, Ms. Khalid, don't bring me into your bun fights, and I will be nonpartisan and conduct the meeting. You're going to continue to disrupt opposition members from asking questions, then I will get involved and make a ruling, as is my job. I'm not just a potted plant up here that's going to watch the clock. But as you get more political and try to cut opposition members from asking legitimate committee questions, I will reinforce their rights as members to ask it. Mr. Bear, you have the floor for 3 minutes, 40 seconds, please.
My colleague Eric Duncan asked you last week, Mr. Moore, which CBSA executives involved in ArriveCAN received performance bonuses, and you said, quote, I can't confirm if they received bonuses this year because the year is not actually at an end, end quote. Well, year end has come and gone. Which executives and how much?
So I'm not able to answer that question because I'm not responsible for executives' performance bonuses.
Well, that wasn't your answer last week, sir. You said that you weren't able to provide the answer because the year end hadn't come, not that you weren't responsible for it. So let me ask you a question with precision that you will be able to answer. Did you, sir, receive bonuses for your work?
I think, as I said last week, I did receive some performance pay during the periods when while I've been the CFO. But also I want to come back to your previous question, actually, with respect.
So $60 million $60 million in waste, along with allegations of fraud, forgery, and corruption. And this Arrive scam sees executives like yourself taking bonuses. You said, and I quote, I'm accountable for failures, end quote. You said that today. Where is the accountability? So everyone keeps their job, everyone gets a bonus, and Canadians are on the hook for all of it, for tens of millions of dollars. And the supposed cost savings of paper versus this application, well, those paper costs were human costs. All of those humans are still being paid. These were costs on top of it. And so much of it, tens of millions of dollars of it, are grift, are just liberal insiders getting rich while Canadians get hammered and have to pick up the bill. And so it's egregious. It's egregious is what it is. I have a question for the Deputy Auditor General. In your report on page 5, there's a table. It's Exhibit 1.1, estimated costs of the main contractors on the ArriveCAN application at 31 March 2023. Of course, this details the $19.1 million that GC Strategies received that, of course, they deny getting paid. And of course, CBSA has no concept on how any of the contracts awarded to these two grifters were awarded. But at the bottom of that table, there's a line, other, and it's $6.1 million. Obviously, the big numbers draw a lot of attention, that $19 million. But this $6.1 million, so Canadians are now wondering how much of this corruption exists in the system and what makes up these companies. Are there numbered companies involved? Because we need to understand who it is that's getting rich off of this project that, of course, Border Service officers said was absolutely ineffective and prevented them from fulfilling their responsibilities. And we've heard that from their union representatives and directly from BSOs themselves. So that's $6.1 million. Who makes up that list?
So we didn't include the details in our report. All of those companies, contractors, received less than $1 million. That was the cutoff that we used for the table. As we said in the footnotes to the table, there were 21 contractors. We haven't notified those contractors of the fact that we would name them in the report. We didn't name them, but there were 21. So we're talking from the low dollar values up to at the high end, possibly $1 million.
Are you able to furnish the committee with a list of those contractors?
We do have a list of those names, and we can provide it to the committee.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate the work of the Auditor General's office.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. That is your time.
Thank you for sticking it out the whole video, guys. My name's Aaron. This is Canadian Looney. We have a lot of fun here sharing what we learn about Canadian politics. I don't really have a side. Just the side of honesty and the people in the grocery store lineup, that's where I come from. I'm a libertarian. I don't believe that we should have this much government at all. But I want to show Canadians what I'm seeing because I'm trying to figure out dig down and find out what is happening in our country. What really is. Is it just one corrupt guy? Is it what is going on? Whose agenda is this? Thank you for watching the video. We'll be back with more. Catch you next video. My goodness, I just want our country back. The one I remember.